Yeah, I got the word lust.
Come.
All right.
This is from the Blue Letter Bible online. This is desire. Hebrew word, Strong's Hebrew 2530, which is the Hebrew word kamad, which means to desire, to covet, take pleasure in, delight in.
Delight in.
Right. To covet it. You're coveting something that's delightful to you. You know, you delight in that. You coveting that. You want that. That's your desire. We covet to prophesy. Like the scriptures say, you should covet to prophesy. We covet to come out here. We covet for more understanding of the word.
Right.
You know? Shit. We covet to brothers, to fellowship.
Covet the kingdom.
To covet, you better, hell yeah. You know? Come on. We covet desire. We desire the destruction of this place. To see the wicked destroyed.
Hey, you might not have, this is small, it's a simple and it's a small example, but you might have had like a taste. You really been wanting some gyro. I'ma throw that the lamb, you know. How they make it with the flatbread and all that. And you know, you ain't really had the money to get it, or whatever the case may be, but you handling your business, doing what you're supposed to be doing. You might have been really had a craving for that, you know, or another word is a lust. And then, you know, the Most High just give you something small like that, you know.
Or some curry goat.
Or some curry goat. Alright, hey, where we was at, man?
I don't know if we still want to finish at Sirach.
That's where you was at?
Yeah.
That's the scripture you was holding.
Back Sirach 1:30. Exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so Yahweh discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. That's just it, man.
Hey, let's say this, on the flip side of what the brother was going into, you got Jake that's so-called in the truth, man, that covered a position in this world, man. Covered to be the man, to be somebody. And that's wickedness, you know? You got, you know, like the brother's going into, it's not, you know, lust in itself, but what you lust after, that's wicked, man. You know? We got Jake wanting to be the man right now, man, when the Most High got so much more promised to us. What you should desire right now is humility.
Yep.
The scripture is plain when it said that the Most High is nearer to them of a contrite spirit and a broken heart. Not the proud and lofty. You know, go ahead.
And then, you know, if you have that humbleness is gonna keep you studying, lusting for this knowledge, man. And then you ain't worried about no position. All you should be worried about is, man, I gotta get this knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not just to get it and have it, but you know, once you come up on some type of level, and I ain't sitting up here saying like I'm on some level, you know. But, you know, been in the truth a little while, you do come to a point where you learn how to actually start living it better, living the knowledge that you learn, executing it and showing in the manifestation in your everyday walk. You know?
There's certain things you might be able to do now that when you first came into the truth, you didn't know how to handle it, or how to apply balance to certain situations, man. Certain environments.
You was talking about being in the truth, you get to a certain level, so to speak, where you start learning how to live more by this word. That's what separates us from Church Jake. Because Church Jake think the more he know, the closer he get, the covet to want to be the fucking pastor of this place. And them niggas is fighting amongst themselves, stabbing each other in the back, these so-called Christians, to get that #1 spot. Because that's all he got his eyes focused on.
Yeah, they on that's a good point, because that's the type of shit these niggas in the world on, is about getting on some type of status so they can get noticed, so they can be noticed by the masses of people. Now, like going back to what I said, as far as you just supposed to have that mindset, I want to learn, I want to learn this truth, man. I want to get this knowledge. And the Most High give you a position. And that type of man ain't gonna care about that position to where he feel like, well, you ain't supposed to feel like that. Well, since I got a higher rank than this brother, then I'm better. I'm on a better, higher level. That's for order's sake. That's for the sake of order and discipline.
Right, but that's why Yahweh Shah said, he that is greatest amongst you, but to be the servant. If the Most High blessed you with more of the understanding of this word, you got to become a servant to your brethren that might not have as much understanding, to build them up. Now this is a basic scripture. What the brother was saying, you want to learn this word to put it into practice, not just, to be worldly with it. This is James 1, chapter 2, verse 17. Even so, faith, if it had not works, is dead being alone. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, then I will show thee my faith by my works. If thou believest that there is one God, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. It's just going to what the brother was saying. Every day is a struggle. Every day Satan is catering to your flesh. We're surrounded by temptation. Babylon is one great temptation, man. This kingdom was built up, like we said before, for the Israelite man to stay going off, right? Continue in wickedness. So daily we being tempted. So daily, man, your faith is being tested, and you got to adhere to these scriptures. Apply these scriptures in your life, put them into practice so that you don't fall for the temptations of the devil.
Right, and then the so-called white man, that's what he about. Dealing with the elite. The average six-pack Joe and the average Edomite woman, they don't know shit, man. They just bugged out, just as bugged out as anybody else here in America. But they want you to be going off so you stay disconnected from your power.
But know that we in this flesh and you gonna slip up sometimes, man. But don't let that cause you to fall out, man. Ask the Most High for forgiveness and know that the Most High, he might present you with a temptation, but he always gonna lead you through that, man. Have faith that he gonna give you the strength to fight that temptation.
You might fall victim. That temptation might but get a Wisdom of Solomon 2, or it's Ecclesiastes 2, the 1. Is that what you're looking for? Prepare thy soul for temptation when you're gonna serve me? Ecclesiastes 2. Now you might be in a situation and you feel the temptation. You didn't shun the temptation. But then, through a process, the Most High can build you up to where if that's happening, he'll have it to where if it happened again, then you can fight it off. That's the building process. When you getting broke down, you're weak, but then when you get the Most High build you back up, now you stronger than what you was before. So now now the temptations ain't gonna affect you like they did, you know, say 3 months ago or a year ago, wherever the time frame on it. You know, the Most High might spend a whole year breaking you down, and then spend that next year building you up. Then He gonna break you down again. And that's the process in this truth.
That's why you gotta have that faith.
It's Sirach chapter 2 verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
And constantly endure. Know that I'm finna have to face these temptations, and I can't just do what I did in the world. In the world, you ain't worried about being temptation and worrying about a consequence. You just gonna do whatever the hell you wanna do, and ain't gonna think twice about it. You ain't gonna think twice about it. You might think twice about it, but then once you do it, you ain't gonna feel no way about it. You're gonna be like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna continue on with my day. You gotta be fearful when you come to serve the Most High, knowing that every action will be accounted for, you know? Got something to speak on it?
No.
First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 13. There has no temptation taken you, but as is common to man. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
Right, because I'm gonna say this: if you have a temptation, it ain't gonna be like it's a one-time thing. Like that temptation was there, and then a year later, if you ain't where you need to be in the spirit, then it's just gonna be gone. That's gonna be an issue that you gotta deal with to eradicate it out your life. You know? And that's what the scripture's talking about. Because it ain't saying you got a temptation where it might just be to where you thinking about box too much. And our brothers thinking about, well, especially the young brothers, you want to get you some ass, you know? You know, we men. But you can't let that overtake you, but you might be under this temptation to where that's all you can't, you know, it seems like you can't escape it. The Most High make a way for you to, if you are the elect, the Most High gonna make a way for you to conquer that temptation. For a lack of better words.
At the end of it, every day you got these scriptures to get into.
It ain't just gonna be a one-time thing where I was tempted at that particular thing this day, and then that's just over with. That's gonna be something you gotta deal with.
That's Esau mind.
Get it addressed and basically get it out your system.
Esau pushed that once you conquer a hurdle, it's just behind you. You done with that. You got over something, you never have to deal with it.
That's why the scripture say endure, because if you don't stay in the spirit, that temptation can come back and possibly overtake you. Have it to where you fall out the truth, you know? Or to where you just going off bad, you know what I'm saying? Just depending on how the situation work out, you know?
I gotta finish this out. All right, again, Sirach chapter 2 verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, which is what the brother's talking about. And constantly endure.
And constantly endure. And constantly endure, because it ain't like, it's just say you got a temptation and you just, you know, basically you ain't tempted by that no more. It don't mean that temptation can't come back. You gotta constantly endure until the end. You gotta constantly endure the temptation until the end, man. That means you can't get comfortable. That means you gotta be diligent. So that you can fight them, you can battle, you know, with the demons. Because the demon is gone, you know. But if it tell you, I'm not gonna go into that. Go ahead and point.
No, I was just gonna say, because you spoke on the temptation of the box. Every Sabbath, all of a sudden, you're gonna have a box calling you, trying to come see you, telling you to come over. Damn near every Sabbath that happens, man.
Hey, what if, hey, you might be in a situation, man. Hey, you just might be in a situation where you think you tough on the Sabbath. You know, I'm in this truth, you bone hard in the truth. I ain't talking about bone hard on some worldly shit. But you just, you know, I'm solid, I'm an Israelite, you know, and all this, and then you think you can handle your woman or just a female being around, and you know, I'm a be into the scriptures, she around, but I ain't gonna mess with her. Then you get laying in the bed, and you know, she got some panties on, she rubbing her leg up against you. She trying to pull your hand and rub on her box. You know, you could be in a, we dealing with reality, man. This ain't no fucking game up here, man. This shit really can fucking happen. You know? And that's a temptation, because you're gonna have to make a choice. Do I get this box, or do I keep the Sabbath open? Woo! You know? And if you fell victim to that temptation, do that mean you out the truth? No. If you keep on doing that shit, the Most High might put you to death. I'm just, you know, I don't have the mind of the Most High. I'm just speaking, you know. Scenario. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.